right, guys, welcome back to Veterans View News Network. I am your host, Patrick, and tonight what I wanted to go through was Joe Biden's first 100 days. Now, kind of what we know in terms of when we get a new president, they come in and they like to have this first 100-day agenda where it is essentially all of the key items that they are really, really passionate about, really, really focused on, things that they want to do. Now, it shouldn't be a surprise to any of you guys what is top of his list. Obviously, that is going to be the next stimulus package that he is going to be releasing. Now, Joe Biden has been working on this new package with leaders in the House, leaders in the Senate, and individuals with whom he's appointed as cabinet members that we're just going to be waiting to get actually approved so they can, start their work once Joe Biden gets inaugurated. So kind of going through, initially the big one is the stimulus package. Now, the one that he has proposed, we do not have all of the details yet, but we do know some key components of this package. And this package is, for the most part, focused on getting help to the American people. Now, what's nice about this is him and his team have actually created a number of different ways that they are going to provide help to people. It's not just going to be stimulus checks. It's not just going to be extending unemployment benefits. I'm talking the child tax credit that, under Trump's administration, when he passed his last tax bill that increased from $1,000 to $2,000, Joe Biden wants to increase that up to $3,600. There's also in there for child care tax credit. So you can take any child care that you've had to, as a result of schools being closed and whatnot, and, daycare providers being closed. You can actually take your child care expenses and the federal government will reimburse you in the form of a credit 50% of what your child care expenses are. Now, the way that works, for one single child, in order for you to get the max amount, you're going to be looking at, you would have to spend $8,000 in child care for one child in order to get the maximum $4,000 credit. Or if you have more than one child, so it goes from 2 children up to, there is no cap on the children, but the amount that you can get back maxes at $8,000. So that's huge. He's also looking at, and some of this other stuff is very interesting because he is considering. Now, granted, this isn't going to be a part of the first 100 days. He actually wants to make it a standalone bill, but changing the benchmark on SSI, SSDI, and VA benefits. He does not believe that the current system we have and the fact that these individuals only get COLA when a lot of these individuals live off of a fixed income, and the fact that COLA does not necessarily keep up with the cost of inflation. This new benchmark would increase over the lifespan of somebody collecting these benefits, would increase their pay by about 20%. Now, he has not said how this would happen. He has not said what this will look like. This is just one of his ideas. So that's the big one on the stimulus package. Now, some other things that he's looking at doing is he wants to do a new tax plan. And his tax plan is going to increase corporate taxes. So as it currently stands, corporate taxes are at 21%. This was under the Trump plan. He wants to raise those back up to 28%. Now, what we don't know, these large businesses, Amazon, Walmart, Google, Facebook, they have the best of the best attorneys and legal representation that you could get because they can afford it. these people also have the best accountants and CPAs that money can buy. So we know these businesses, no fault of their own, are going to do everything they can to reduce their likelihood of having to pay taxes. So what a lot of people are curious of is, how would Joe Biden's team implement this? Because our tax code is so broken and there's so many loopholes on top of loopholes on top of loopholes that contradict each other. Is increasing the tax rate to try and bring in more revenue from Wall Street, as Bernie Sanders always talks about, is that actually going to make a change? And that's something we're going to have to see, how this gets implemented. Now, he has also said, and Joe Biden said this out on the campaign, he has said that nobody making under $400,000 per year will see their taxes go up. So I'm going to need everybody watching these videos, as we start to go through this process, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think he's going to be able to get any of this in here. And also, while you're at it, hit that like button. Let me know that you guys like this content. So another one of Joe Biden's big hot button issues is climate change. And on day one of taking office, Joe Biden plans on reinstituting the United States back into the Paris Climate Accord that Trump withdrew us from. And then also within that, he wants to set up a climate world summit so that we can pull all the world leaders together who are a part of this initiative and figure out what we can do on a country by country basis, what our positives are, what our weaknesses are, how can we help you, how can you help us. That's a big issue for Joe Biden. So we'll kind of have to see how we get through there. And, focusing on that, we know all these alternative fuel sources, so you're looking at electric, you're looking at wind, solar, all these different ways, alternative ways that we have. You may start to see some of these stocks go up in the stock market, kind of like we've seen Tesla just over the last 6 or 8 months. So definitely, if you guys are invested, I would definitely take a look at your portfolio. And if you have nothing in the energy sector, I would probably be looking at putting some money into some, do some research, do your own research. Don't just, believe something I say. But do some research on some of these companies that are working on this technology and trying to make it to the market, so that people can utilize it. Because there's going to be a lot of good there, and there's going to be a lot of growth there under a Biden administration. So another one we're looking at is immigration. I know immigration is a hot, super contentious issue. There are people on both sides, in the middle, up, down, that all have their own personal feelings about immigration. I'm going to keep my personal feelings out of immigration. I'm just going to tell you what Joe Biden thinks. So Joe Biden is not a fan of the stance that Donald Trump took on on immigration within the United States. He plans on undoing a lot of policies that Trump put in place regarding immigration. And his big thing with this is, through executive order, he wants to create a federal task force whose sole purpose is going to be reuniting children who were separated from their parents or family members at the border. As it currently stands, from what we're tracking, there are a total of 628 parents who had been separated from their children. So this is a really big deal to him. It's very much so a humanities issue, and that's really why he wants to focus on it. And then he also plans on totally stopping all construction on the border wall that Trump was very focused on. And then he also wants to focus on this pathway to citizenship, where we can actually put some type of comprehensive plan in place that will allow a lot of these, in the words of Joe Biden, undocumented people within the United States, provide them a path, a process they can take that doesn't take 5, 10, 15 years. He wants to streamline some kind of process to allow these individuals to integrate legally and correctly into our society, to be able to start partaking in the American dream. That's kind of his plan. Another big one he's really focused on are issues involving the LGBTQ community. He stated, and this was something he stated last year. This was on a campaign trail. So who knows if this will even come to bear. But he wants to pass an Equality Act which aims to extend federal protections in the areas of housing, education, credit, and services to members of the LGBTQ community. I guess one of the things that his team and that his incoming administration has seen is that there is still a lot of favoritism that takes place, and there are still a lot of these federal agencies who are not doing their part to allow these individuals access to these same programs that they allow everybody else access to. So I can't say I really blame them on that. And then racial justice is the last big issue that he wants to focus on. Now, with this, he wants to create, he said within his first 100 days, a National Police Oversight Commission. And let me tell you verbatim what Joe Biden stated. And I've got it here kind of on my notes that we are kind of able to receive here. So, he said, I've long believed we need real community policing, and we need each and every police department in the country to undertake a comprehensive review of their hiring, their training, and their de-escalation practices. And then he goes on to say, and that was end quote right there. Then he goes on to say, back 2 quotes, and the federal government should give them the tools and resources they need to implement reforms. Now, with this, typically what you kind of see is, and once again, you know, this is totally going to be, this point moving forward, this is all going to be unbiased. This is going to be, this is the information. This is what I have. This is how things were done. Factual data. This is how it was done. This is how he wants to do it. This is what he's going to do it. If I do have an opinion on the matter, I will let you know up front that it is my opinion before I state what I want to state. And that's only because I want to ensure that I'm just giving you guys the information. And I want you guys to be able to make your own informed decision. Unfortunately, with our mass media, the way it is today, along with a lot of your social network sites and platforms, there is a lot of bias that takes place. And there are a lot of networks who, when they push their information, they put a political spin on it. They put their narrative on it. And it's because they are trying to tailor that to their audience. So I enjoy doing my own research. And I enjoy coming to my own conclusion. I don't need somebody else to try and manipulate me to get me to a conclusion. I don't need somebody else to tell me why I should think the way I think. I can do my own research. I can put together my own set of facts and information that we know. I can go through them, and then I can draw my own conclusion based on how I feel about that. So I'd really love it if you guys would continue to support my channel. My channel has been growing exponentially just over the last couple weeks. I want to say in the last 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks since the first of the year, I've gained almost 300 subscribers, a ton of views, likes, comments. So I greatly appreciate it, you know, if you guys are watching. So with that, guys, kind of let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if this is information you'd like to see. I pretty much want to be putting stuff together on a daily basis, sometimes multiple times a day. Just breaking news stuff. And once again, with no spin. So kind of my plan is, or the motto I want to go for is news you care about when you care about it. So the nice thing, I'm just going to be laying it out there. You guys can draw your conclusions. If you guys want my opinion, just ask for it. I have no problem telling you guys my opinion. And my opinions, if you guys ask, I'm always going to back up with the reasoning why I believe that to be true. And I feel like that's what we need more of. We need more of people being able to disagree, but they can disagree without being disagreeable. And I feel like that's huge, because things as we see it, I see it all the time on Facebook, on, you know, all these different Twitter. It seems like with the way things currently stand, if somebody disagrees with you, or if you disagree with them, their reaction is to immediately demonize you, or your reaction is to immediately demonize them. And that's detrimental to our society. To have a society like we have, you need to be able to disagree. No one person, one individual, no one set of policies is going to work 100%. There's always going to be give and take. And that's what we need. We need more dialogue between all our members of government at all levels, at our city, county, state, federal. We need a much different approach than what we're doing. So with that, guys, sorry for being so long-winded. Once again, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you guys haven't yet, you know, please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of this type of content. And I will also be linking my Joe Biden's 100-day plan down below in the comment section, just so you guys can take a look at it and kind of let me know what you think of his priorities. So with that, guys, take care. Bye.